You have tuned in to The Thinking Class with Lawrence D. Adams. Let's go. Salute everybody. This is Lawrence D. Adams. What's going on? What's going on? I am so ready to go today. I'm ready today. Good up. What's going on, Wave? I'm not going to wait for anybody to get into the room. I'm about to start because, I have something to say today. So let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let me make sure I didn't change around the lights a little bit. Try to change my seating and get a better shot. I think I need to go over this way a little bit more. There we go. There we go. Right in the middle, right where I need to be at. Salute everybody. This is Lawrence DM. This is when spirituality and the game combines. You have the thinking class, and today we're talking about mastering the game. It's time to play big. Let me say this. As they would say, let me clear my throat. Woo! These past couple of weeks, since this election, since the new year, has been one roller coaster. I've seen so many people having a meltdown on social media and everywhere else. They're in their feelings, they're doing all kind of things. But those who are masters at the game, and let me emphasize when I say game, I'm not talking about manipulation. I'm talking about you have strategies from point A to point B. This is going to be the time that you exercise the game that you know. This is the opportunity for you to exercise the game that you know. We are in a different age. I talked about this at least 2 years ago. We are here now. And this is the opportunity for you to play big. Now, you can hear all the game you want in the world about how to get women and how to do all those things. But this right here is the opportunity for you to exercise the game that you know and get a skill set so that you can play big. I know the executive orders had got a lot of people got their panties in a bunch. I said last week, either you're going to be a victor or you're either going to be a victim or you're going to be a victor. And I'm saying right now, for the record, we are in a major shift that I think a lot of people are not ready for. So I'm going to be the one to say, master the game now. Everything you learned last year and the year before is an opportunity for you to either stay the same or go to the next level. Let me say that again. This is an opportunity for you to stay the same or go to the next level. Financially, mentally, spiritually, physically, this is your opportunity to think big. See, this is the thing. Great people or great minds are not cultivated in comfort or when everything is going well. Let me say that again. Great minds and great innovations and great progression does not take place. Guess what? You are true. You about to get me started. Don't say that. They are cultivated in pressure, just like the diamond is made in pressure. So will be you in this time that's coming up. Now, I like what my dude, True Challenge Proof said, because this is it. Regardless of who's the president, we should have our game tight. Thank you so much. I've never seen so many people move by their emotions and move and crying. They took this away, they're doing that. If you're game tight, you'll be all right. And I know I didn't shout out to Sirism. I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did. If your game is tight, if you're on your P's and Q's, if you're doing what you need to do, you will elevate in any season. It is those who cannot breathe at the next level who's having a problem right now. Let me say that again. It is those who can't breathe at the next level and the things that are coming down the pipeline that will who can't graduate to the next level. If you have your game correct, let me say something about game, because I've talked about it before. What I mean by game in this particular context is that you have your mind correct right now. If you're moved by what you see on CNN, Fox, MSCN, anywhere else on social media, what this person is saying and what that person is saying, you will be on the sidelines with your thumb in your mouth and wishing you could have did better. This is the opportunity for you to go within or do without. Those of us who are saying we're going to go to the next level because we're going to think big are saying, "Oh, this is what's going on in the nation. How do I jump in and ride the wave? Or do I go back and get some tissue and say, Tito, give me the tissue because I'm going to cry?" This is where we're at right now. Either you sit back and complain and write social media posts and say what this person is doing and what they ain't doing, or you're going to jump in and say, you know what? I'm about to go get mine. Yeah, go get that tissue. They do. Oh, I got to get the baby. Yeah, they're doing this, and Trump is doing that, and Trump is doing this. What's going on? Good to see you. Salute to the true distinguished gentleman, Mr. L. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good to see you, man. Either you going to cry and put your finger in the mouth like a little baby, or you're going to stand up on 10 toes down and say, I'm going to get mines. You can't talk about you want to master the game if you ain't thinking big. Something that I share, and I share with my girlfriend all the time. Y'all need to hear what I shared to her. I said, baby, we got to have vision in this time. And I say it to my sons too. You got to have vision. This ain't time to be going crying. They took this away. They take it that away. What are you going to do about it? Michael, I heard someone, and I'm trying to. I heard someone say, "Well, we need to just unfollow the president and follow the unfollow the vice president." I heard someone of prominence say, "Let's unfollow the president and unfollow the vice president." Whether you agree with them or not, the smart person, what they do is, whether they agree with the person or not, they look at what they're doing. They look at what they are doing so they know how to move. If they move and zag, you move the other way. We miss it because we're so emotional. They doing this. If you would have said, okay, I see the president doing this way, let me move that way so I know how to move for myself and for my community. You got to think bigger. Oh, Lord, what's that supposed to do? Right. Thank you. You unfollow him. We need to unfollow the president. We need to follow him. I don't, if you voted for him or not, okay, great. I'm not here to debate anyone's decision on what they decided to do when they got in the booth last year. And now we have the president. And like you said, what is it going to do? I'm unfollowing him. That means you're going to be misinformed and be given information that does not serve you. That doesn't make sense. If you don't agree with him, okay, good. I don't agree with him. Never let me see what he's going to do so I know what I need to do. I don't understand people who are just emotionally driven. You got to think, like I say, you got to have vision, Willie. Willie, you got to have vision. I wish I can use the sound, but I get dinged. You got to have vision. I'm going to unfollow the president. I'm going to unfollow the vice president. You ain't proving nothing. You ain't proving anything. That you're small-minded and that you don't have game or strategy. We're talking to men. The men who have game say, okay, I see how they moving out here in the street, or I see how they moving in this business situation. They're doing this. Let me follow that so I know how I need to move to get to my destination. That's why you have to think bigger than just yourself. Shout out 1-1. Yup. Shout out. That's a master number, 11. You have to think bigger than yourself. East Coast time, baby. You know it. You have to think bigger than yourself. You have to think big. The problem is a lot of people are driven by their emotions. I'm watching the numbers go up and down while I'm talking about this. Because they thought it was going to be talking about, how you going to talk about master the game? You ain't mastered the game if you're driven by your emotions and by everything that you see. Just plain and simple. The real masters of the game sit back and strategically plan out their next plot out. Let me say that correctly. Plot out their next move so they know how to do it. How can we ascend, LD, if you hit the ceiling of the game? Good question, because it ties into about thinking bigger. So how do you ascend how do we ascend if we hit the ceiling of the game? This right here, I'm going to, what I like to do is break down the sentence. How do we ascend, LDA, if we hit the ceiling of the game? This part, the last part of the sentence, I'm going to break down. If you hit the ceiling of the game, and this is not personal, this is just teaching lesson for all of us. When you realize that the game, there is no ceiling. We may have hit the ceiling of our particular game. Let me break it down. I heard for these past couple of weeks, I've been learning a new skill set. And with that new skill set, I'm learning, I've been taught to work a 9 to 5. Which is perfect because you need to pay your bills and things like that. But then I was introduced to another level which I'm teaching my sons and I'm teaching those around me is you now get assets that pay for your lifestyle. That's another level of the game. Instead of me working my behind to get the things I want, I create assets, or I get assets that what pay for what I like. So if you hit the ceiling of it, you need to take the limitation off and say, what do I need to learn more? What is it out there that I think I know that I don't know? See, when you get into the room of the people who think like you, you're going to stay at that level. When you get around a level of people who are thinking higher than you, oh my dude, You will begin to think at another level. Many times where we hit the ceiling of our game because of the people that we are around. They haven't grown past the ceiling of the game. I'm from St. Clair, Euclid, St. Clair. No shots at them. They're my dudes. Love everybody over there. But I had to get past the ceiling of just living or being on St. Clair. I had to say, wait a minute, this is good, but let me go to the next level. And what was stopping me was who I was around and how they were thinking. It's the same thing that happened to me in church. I was around a particular group of denominations that were at a certain level. I said, wait a minute, there's something else that I'm missing that I'm not reading in the Bible. Oh, okay, let me get around those people who think at a different frequency and consciousness that I'm at. So how do you ascend? You begin to say, okay, I'm at this level, I'm plateau. Now let me seek and say, I don't know anything, and what do I need to learn? You got to start thinking bigger. Let me get this. No, there's no respect. I always want to be, I appreciate you asking that question. The millionaires and billionaires go where they are treated best. If they don't like what's going on in one country, they move to another. Correct. That's the game. That's the thing. And this is the other part of it, because I've been guilty of it. If you think you know it all, you realize that you know nothing when you go to the next level. I'm going to the next level with understanding assets that create my lifestyle versus me going to a 9-to-5 that produces my lifestyle, because I'm now more time conscious. I'm about to be 53 years old. So I have to think about my time is winding up, and I need to be strategic and on point of who I spend time with and where do I spend my time at and who's going to get me to my goal of where I need to be at. So it's more than just what happened when you hit the ceiling. You realize now that there is no ceilings, or you begin to think. We talked about this. We talked about this a couple of years ago. When you realize there's stratospheres of the game, you might be at stratosphere 2, but there's another stratosphere of the game that you need to obtain. So if you hit that ceiling, boop, what do I do not know that I need to know to go to the next level? This is all tied in. I'm glad you asked it. This is all tied into what we're talking about. There is another level of the game that you don't know. And I realized I had a blind spot. So I'm thinking, wait a minute, I thought I knew everything about game. I knew everything about game on this level. But there's another level of the game that I know nothing about. Yesterday, my girlfriend sent me a video of the difference between an executive and a manager. Hey, I'm pretty smart. I'm pretty intelligent. I figure things out. And I realized I didn't know the difference between a manager and an executive. And I had to look at it. Am I a manager or am I an executive? An executive and a manager have a whole different perspective of how they run a company, run their family, and run everything. Many of us are comfortable being managers or managers of people instead of being an executive who get things done so that the managers can do what they need to do. So even then I had to say, I don't know this. I didn't know what the executive really did. Thinking bigger allows you to expand the minds. Fire topic. Appreciate that. So let me make sure I get this for 2025. Whatever you think you know, you don't know, because there's always another level to it. And what happens is a lot of us, and I've been guilty of it, are comfortable where we're at, not realizing that there's more out there. That's why you have to think bigger. That's why I say, oh, okay, 9-to-5, I like you. But now I got to get investments that pay for what? Let me make sure I emphasize this to you guys. I want you to get what I'm getting. I have to get investments or assets that pay for my lifestyle, pay for how I live. Right. Thank you. So, man, right there. That's fine. I need to update my tribe. Correct. Correct. Please, right there. That need to let that sink in. Let that sink in. Yes, sometimes your tribe that you're in are holding you back. Sometimes the tribe that you have grown comfortable with. Salute to Jonathan, the man. He appreciate it. Thinking Cloud, thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate that. Sometimes the tribe that you are in is holding you back. You need to get in rooms that make you a little uncomfortable. You need to get in rooms where you may need to put on a suit when you're used to putting on Timbs. You need to get in the room with they're eating filet mignon and drinking Dom Perignon. You need to get in those rooms. You need to cut your beard, or you need to grow a beard. You need to change your whole outlook. You need to think bigger. There are tribes out here that will amaze you. And guess what? Let me say this, because most people ain't gonna get it. Just because you want to get in certain tribes or certain groups, don't mean you're going to get there. That's why you got to think bigger. You have to be selected to go to that next level. There are certain spaces that I have been in. I have been selected to go there because, let me give you some good game. I had on the right uniform. Y'all better, man, please pick up what I'm putting down today. The reason why I was able to get to certain places or get into certain rooms is because I had the right uniform on. What do you mean uniform on? I made sure I didn't have on my khakis and I didn't have on my Tim. I don't have any Tims anymore. I have on my boots. I put on a suit and a tie, or I put on a bow tie. And they said, oh, he belongs there. He has the right uniform on. Mm-hmm. Good question. How do you become selected when you're doing the work for years? Good question. I mean, I love it. This is what I'm talking about. You get selected. Woo, when I think about this, many a times the reason why we don't get selected or get pushed up, y'all need to pay attention to what I'm about to say, because I've said this just this week and the last week. It's because we're trying to do it all ourselves. When you want to go big, you're going to need a team. You don't need someone to help you. You cannot do this all by your God-living self. You need people to help you. If you're going to go from manager or from worker manager to executive, you got to know the power of delegating people what? Who do what you don't like to do. Taking more risk to another, thinking over. Yeah. Taking more risk is another form of thinking big, overcoming the fear to think big. I'm reluctant with people. I like some people, not all. Let me say this. I'm so glad you say that, because I'm going to emphasize my point again. You got to build a team around where you are going. You delegate your weakness. There's certain things that I can do that I'm just a master at. And there's other things I can't do, but I dedicate it to either my girlfriend, or I talk to my sons, or I talk to this one person, and I talk to governor. I delegate to people who have a specialty in where I want to go. I delegate. Salute, Art. What's going on, RJ? I delegate. You see, this is the thing. If you're going to think big and you're going to go master the game, you're going to have to trust somebody else with what you're doing. I've been there. I've been burnt before. People done burnt me, took advantage. I didn't see people come on this channel, or people I done been in relationship with, but they didn't went bigger than me. No, you got to realize you got to let that go Get over your feelings and say, I got to build the right people around me to pull my vision to the next level. Because you can't do it by yourself. Some of y'all think, I can do it by myself. I don't need nobody. LDA, I'm here to tell you, you are mistaken. Let me give you a prime example. I was in the market of looking for a camera last week. I called Governor. Anybody who know Governor is, he's one of my mentors I talk to. Between him and Jono, we all talk. I said, Governor, I'm looking for a camera for what I do. He said, no problem. I'm going to give you a breakdown what you need to get. Within a couple of days, he gave me a breakdown what camera was best. Look at these videos. You decide on what's best for you. I delegated to someone who was a professional photographer in the area that I'm not strong at that show me what I need to do for my vision for where I was going. Once I did that, guess what happened? I popped up with a camera. Well, he said, oh, you got a camera? You're not finished. You need to get the right lens. You got to get the right lens cover. You got a lens filter. You need to get the right, what do you call that? Tripod. Okay, you got the right tripod. You make sure you get the right SD card. I went and bought the wrong SD card for my camera. I had to take my behind last Friday and go drive and get another SD card because it was the wrong one. No, Saturday. I purchased the SD card Friday. Saturday, I had to get up and go get the right one because guess what? It wasn't my strength. I got the wrong kind. In order for you to think big, you got to have people that you delegate to do things that you are not good at. Thank you, Jonathan. Don't forget to hit the like button and support the message. You have to delegate to become more optimized. You only have so much knowledge. Shout, run. Thank you. Executives. Shoo. Delegate. Man, y'all got to get this. Executives provide vision. The manager execute the vision. Y'all guys get it. Man, y'all get it. But you also have to be willing to pass along the knowledge you have to others. You will be an asset to others. Correct. Maybe I need to mature. You know, I'm gonna tell you let me tell you what happens. What needs to happen, and I'm just sharing. Like I said, I'm just talking like Prophet Hargo would say. I'm just talking. If you're still rehearsing when people have did to you, you will never go to your next audition. Pay attention to what I just said. That was a truth bomb. If you're still rehearsing when people did to you, you will never go to your next audition that will take you to the next level. If you're still rehearsing the hurts and disappointments, how people did you wrong, you will never be ready for what? The next audition that will be the one that put you on the map. There's been people who did me wrong and did things to me and said things and try to smear my name and try to talk bad about me and you are this. And what I had to do is forgive myself first and forgive them next. The vision was more important than what happened to me in the past. I had people who came in, somebody I dated, shout out to them, who said, why are you doing them podcasts? You need to be focusing on this. Why you buying more stuff for your podcast? Why are you talking to the men? Trust me. And I thought about it. I said, dog, she might be right. I said, no. My purpose, who I came here for, was to serve other men and women, particularly men with the vision. And what I realized, even though she was nice, she was curvy, she was smart, she was intelligent, she was all that smooth, nice lips and all that. Guess what? I had to let her go. It was another TKO. I had to TKO her. Why? Because she didn't see the vision, Willie. She didn't see the vision. Yeah. Told me you shouldn't be doing them podcasts and listening in the corner. And then I had somebody else who was, when you gonna get off of those panels? You talking on us panel, talking on, I'm here for you to spend time with me. I looked at her, I said, I'm going to be still ticking on, I'm going to be still doing these panels. You need to go in the room and go lay down. That was my true words. No cap, no nothing. Because my purpose and my vision is who I am. And if you ain't on this train, baby, you better get in the next stop, you better get off, because it ain't for you. Let me read what Jonathan. You can't be so afraid of the past that you avoid looking forward to the future. Correct. You asked another question. How do you know if you still operate under the rehearsal when you've been trying to learn a new dance? You know you still operate under rehearsal is because you keep making the same mistakes and you're going around. You're like the children of Israel. You're supposed to be in the promised land, but you're wandering around in the wilderness for a trip that should have took 7 to 8 days. You taking 40 years to do. That's how you know. Don't start, Dickie B. Sounds like energy vampires. I mean, yeah, right, Jonathan. That's the thing. If you're going to have vision, you can't have people that are going to distract you from your vision. You got people who are going to what? Feed your vision and say, hey, I see, I'm right there with you. No vision, no big purpose or plan small is going to, you can't allow people to pull you away from what your purpose and designed to do. Let me say this. If she ain't bought into your vision, you got to let her go. If they ain't bought into your vision, you got to let them go. Plain and simple. They become a distraction instead of a stepping stone to get you to where you need to be. That's why you got to think big. You got to think like an executive. You got to think the long term, how this is going to play out. I've been there. If I was to tell you some of the stuff that I've been through, baby, you will be surprised. And I'm still here. I'm still giving good game. I'm still telling you to think bigger. Many times when things weren't, internet wasn't working right, my lights weren't working right, this wasn't going on right. Who I was dating was like, stop it. You need to stop it. You need to stop doing all that. You saying too much. You must don't like women. I'm like, I don't like women. You listening to what I'm saying and think I don't like women? Baby, you have no clue who I am. You should know I love women. That's why you got to be so focused on your vision and realize you got to think bigger. She definitely sounds like a vampire. Shout out to LED for having nuts to make that move. Yeah. A partner that is content with you being stagnant as long as you fulfill their needs is an anchor, not a teammate. Woo, woo. That's powerful, man. Right there. That's powerful. And you got to think big. That right there was good right there. That's y'all hitting it. So let me make sure I'm saying the masters of the game. Time to think big. Don't get washed away with everything that's being said on social media. Don't do it. Don't do it. It'll have you running in circles, chasing your tail. Man, you said something, Mr. Adams. Her beauty and her booty don't even matter. You dismissed her. My cousin said he let the beauty run him. Think about it. I'm gonna give you some good. Now y'all make me. I'm trying to stay from this type of game, but I got to think big. So I got to give you this. If you are moved by her beauty and her ability, and she knows that, she will control you. But on a deeper level, she will not trust you because there's always someone else who looks better than her and has a beauty, has a bigger booty or smaller booty, whatever it is, that you will not have discipline enough to say no to. Whoa, whoa, don't let that go over your head. Let me say it again. Slow down, Mr. Adams, slow down. If you are enamored by her beauty and her booty, what happens is she will lose a sense of disrespect for you. She was like, oh, I like it. But in the back of her mind, she knows that if something comes along and if you don't have the discipline, you'll be moved by that. That's a good game right there. That right there is good game. Now you're looking beyond her beauty and her booty, and you're looking at her character. You're looking not just what she's saying, you're looking on how she's moving. Some of y'all are just looking at the beauty. I don't know why we get on this, the booty, and you're not looking at the character of the woman. Woo! But also starts with you. You have to be self-aware of your weakness so you can do self-reflection and pivot even if you make mistakes in the moment. Correct. You got to know your weaknesses. You got to know. Nah, nope. Don't need to be around her. Nope. Don't need to be around him. Nope. Let me bring it this way. So I was coming from the gym today. I was walking down the street. Guy and his girl was at the bus stop. He's standing up. She's sitting down. He's rubbing her hair, and it's cold outside. So he would, somebody rolled past in the car, and they had that sticky icky, that weed. So it was permeating all around us as I was walking down the street past the bus stop. And so I'm walking, just chilling. I'm listening to something that's inspirational to get me into mood because I wanted to get something to eat. The guy looked at me. I looked at him. Said, "What's up?" He said, "What's up, man?" He said, "Yo, man, I know you got that. You got that good. I said, "What are you talking about, man? I can smell it, man. I know you got that good. I said, "Hey, man, I just came back from the gym and I did my hands like this. I don't got nothing." You see, the point I'm saying that story is you can't tempt me with weed because weed ain't something I'm tempted with. When you have vision, there's certain things that you're going to have to drop off because it does not serve your purpose. And in this day and hour, it is imperative. It is important that you, especially you men, especially you black men, that this is the time for you to get that paper. This is the time to build your nest egg. This is the time to get assets to pay for your lifestyle. This is the opportunity for you to get out there and do something, business or whatever it is. Don't be jaded about what happened in the past. The past is the past. You got to have vision. You got to think big. One of the things I realized, I was thinking too small. And I had a situation that come up earlier this week. Well, not this week, last week. And I was presented with a situation. I looked at it, I'm like, this is nice. Oh yeah, I think I may make that move on this. And I sat back and I presented it to several people. One person's like, oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's nice. I said, I could put my studio in there. I could do this. And I realized the place I was looking at was too small for what I want to do and how I want to live. It was a nice place, it's quiet and things like that, but it was too small for how I need to live. In order to think big, sometimes you got to pass up even what presents itself as good opportunities. You got to master the game. Every opportunity is not always the best opportunity for you. Y'all better get this. You want some master the game? I'm telling you right now, every opportunity that presents itself is not always the best opportunity for you. One of the things that my girlfriend, we talk about is this on brand? Is this on code to where how we want to present it to the world? Is it on brand? Is it on? Okay, well, it sounds good. That looks good. The colors look good. They sound good. Is it on brand? If you don't have something in place that boundaries and standards of operation of how you want to be presented in the world, guess what? You'll fall for anything. Every opportunity that comes your way doesn't mean it's an opportunity for you and doesn't represent your brand. I was listening to the interview of Cheryl Underwood and Shannon Sharp, and she was saying that she was offered to play in I can't think of the movie, it just escaped me. I know it. She was offered to play in a particular movie, Players Club. And she said, well, hey, they were going to give her a part. But guess what? She said, I want to read the whole script. So she read the whole script. And the part that she wanted to play, they wanted her to play, was someone, the person that she was acting with had just got raped. And she was going to say, hey, just get up and do what you're going to still go do this party with somebody else. Cheryl Underwood understood her brand. And most of all, she understood herself. She said, I cannot play that part because I have been raped. She would have got paid. She probably would have got recognition, but she realized there were certain lines that I will not cross just because of fame, fortune, money, and recognition. You got to be that way because you're going to think big. Doesn't mean that you won't be presented with opportunities that you're going to have to examine under the microscope and say, it does not fit me. This is not good. She's decided that she was not going to play that part, and she didn't take it. What happened next? Another opportunity came. She was able to play something else. She was able to be on, do some other opportunities. But you got to realize every opportunity that presents you is not for you. Does it line up to your what? Your brand and who you are. Now, let me get to this other part about thinking big, because it came up in the feed. I seen it. When you think big, when you're thinking big, or you got to play big, it's normally going to scare you. It's going to scare you. When you got to play big, it's going to, just be very honest, be very candid, and be very clear. It's going to scare you. It's going to scare you. And it should. And the only reason why it scares you is because of the unknown. Well, two reasons why. It's because of the unknown, and because it's going to reveal a part of you that you have not seen. Let me say that again. Thinking big is going to scare you, because now you have to dive into the unknown, and two, is going to reveal something. I was going to reveal a part of you that you do not know, and it's going to say you're going to have to die to where you've been. Many times we don't want to die to who we used to be. I don't want to be no sellout, LDA. I want to be true to who I am. Some parts of that you're going to have to let go. And many of us are fighting our own selves because we're struggling with who we used to be and where we need to go. Let me read these comments. Y'all on fire today. If opportunity goes against your character, you're selling your soul. Correct. There is a difference between compromise and selling your soul. If it goes against your fundamental foundation in a way that is unacceptable, don't take it. Correct. But let me say this again. you were many times the fight that we're having inside about thinking big is not with the devil, it's not with God, it is with our own self, because we're afraid to let go of the identity of who we were, to embrace the identity to who we can be. Let me say that again. It is not a fight with the devil. You fighting against the man. You fighting against the white man. You fighting against the black man, yellow man, green man. You fighting. It's none of those things. You're fighting with yourself because you're fighting with your old self that's comfortable. I like this level. I know everything here. I'm the best at what I do. I can talk. You're fighting with that, and your higher self is saying, "Hey, there's more here for you." He's like, no, I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can talk in front of people. I don't know if I can start a business. I don't know if I can do that. I don't know if I can put on a suit. I don't know if I need to put on 10. You're fighting, you start coming up with all kind of excuses. My mentor used to say, excuses are just guarded lies. You're fighting. The fight sometimes inside of many of us, because it's been there with me, is is your ability. The God in you is fighting you and say, leave the old man who you used to be and embrace the new man of who you can be. Ego seeks stability to make sure change is challenging. Correct, man. You're on fire, man. That is so true. Do I tell you the fight that I even have to have? I remember when I was younger, we had a dog. We had a French poodle named Tiffany. Tiffany was finicky. She was all the things a French poodle is. She was just she got groomed. She had bows in her hair. She barked a little bit. She stand up and look out the window. She was something else. Now we fed Tiffany. Tiffany was taken care of. She was actually my aunt's dog. But Tiffany had to come stay with us. Once Tiffany got her way around, she'd do this. She'd move around. Now, when we ate dinner, my father said, get that dog out of here. Tiffany got to go got to put her on a chain and put her on the door so she don't come around begging. But one of my siblings, I'm not going to say who, will sometimes throw their food down for Tiffany. And all you hear is smacking. And Tiffany would tear that food up because she didn't eat dog food. She ate table food. She ate gizzards and she ate the fine delicacies of what a dog could eat. And this was back in the 80s. And anything that fell on the floor, Tiffany was going to chop it up, eat it. And then we had another dog, and I'm going to go back to Tiffany. We had another dog named Stumper. My father was a baker. And what he would do is he would make pound cakes and was sitting on our patio so it would cool down. And you could smell the aroma of the vanilla, the rum extract, and the butter, and the pound cake was just sitting there. And Stumper, who was a mixed breed between a Doberman Pinscher and Rottweiler. He was sitting there. We fed Stumper. Lord knows we fed Stumper. Stumper was just sitting there. He seen that cake sitting on the patio. And it was late. It was cool of the summer, and you can smell it in the neighborhood. And Stumper just sat there. He didn't say nothing. He didn't bark. He didn't bark. He was sitting there. And Stumper had a chain around his neck, and he was tied to the house. And Stumper decided that tonight was going to be the night. Now, my father's in the kitchen preparing the pies and the cakes that he was going to sell, because that was our way. My father found an asset that he was going to sell so that we can live by. And Stumper decided that night, when he smelled That pound cake, I mean, fresh homemade pound cake, because I helped make it. He sat there and waited. He didn't say nothing. He didn't bark. He watched my father put that cake on the patio, on the patio, and Stumper broke the chain and bit a chunk out of a $20 at that time, back in the 80s. That was a lot of money. $20, I think 18 to $20 pound cake that my father was going to sell to a particular restaurant. And he tore inside of it. My father hit the ceiling and he called my brother, Michael, get down here and get this dog. This dog then ate my pound cake. The reason I tell that story, because you can be Stumper or you can be Tiffany. Some of y'all are waiting for people to give you crumbs from the table. Just like Tiffany did. She waited. She's underneath the table. She's a little toy. She's a toy poodle, actually. She was a toy poodle. Just you waiting for, oh, there's another opportunity. There's another opportunity. You're waiting for everybody to give you something. While Stumper, what's going on? What's going on, Prince of Judah? While Stumper, on the other hand, waited. And I told you he was mixed with a Doberman pitcher and Rottweiler. So he was intelligent. He realized the perfect time to strike because he knew my father was in there washing up the dishes, and he struck and he ate a chunk out of that pound cake. You can be Tiffany or you can be Stumper. You decide. Are you going to wait for other people to get you what you need? Or are you going to be Stumper, break the chains off of you, and get what belongs to you? Now, the cake didn't belong to Stumper, and Stumper was already fed. But my point is, you got to have enough vision to go after what you want. Let me say that again. You got to have enough vision. You got to have enough drive. Stumper was completely focused on watching my father go in and out the kitchen. He was clocking them. He was focused. And when he seen that cake was there, I think Stumper was pretty smart because he knew it was cooled down. And by the time he sunk his sharp teeth inside of that pound cake, it was completely done. Even though my father hollered, even though my father was completely mad, the cake was gone. True story. Up on the hilltop. They know what I'm talking about. True story. Many of y'all are waiting for life to give you something that you got to break the chains, the mental chains off of you, and go get yours. Stop being like Tiffany, waiting under the table for people to give you crumbs and you be satisfied with that. Too many of y'all are satisfied with getting crumbs when you should be sitting at the table eating good. If that's resonating with you, that story resonating with you, let me know in the chat. We'll put a number 1 in the chat room. If that resonated with you, are you Stumper or are you Tiffany? Let me know in the chat room. Are you Stumper or are you going to be Tiffany? Let me know in the chat room, because many of y'all are waiting for I'm waiting for the right time, man. Stumper did not wait. He was strategic on what belonged to him. The cake belonged to Stumper way before it got on there. If you're going to think big, you're going to have to go after what belongs to you, even if it makes someone mad. Because my dad was mad. And my father used to stutter. He didn't stutter then. He was, Michael, get down here. And I don't know where I was. Either I was up in the bedroom, I was down in the basement. I was like, somebody in trouble. It ain't me. Get this dog. And I had to go get Stumper. And Stumper was so satisfied. I ain't got that cake. I got the cake. If you're going to think big in these upcoming years, in these upcoming months, you got to be focused. You got to know what you want. That pound cake was, trust me, was way better than that dry dog food that he was normally getting that we made gravy with. You got to have vision. You got to think big. But let me tell you another part of the story that I didn't tell you. Since that happened, my father said, I got you now. He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Stumper in the backyard, and I'm going to put the pound cakes on the other side of the patio. So you got to be, in this, even though we see everything that's happening politically, we see everything that's happening in our country and financially, you got to be strategic. You got to be strategic on your next move. And that's what my dad did. And I'm glad you said this. I remember you used to talk about the playground of the gods. What is that? So let me tell you what the playground, I'm glad you asked what that is, because it ties into the last question you asked. The playground of the gods is your imagination. Some of y'all have not gone into your imagination, which is the playground of the gods, and create your reality. That's why you're not thinking big. You've been playing in the reality of what's going on around you, and you have not gone to the playground of the gods and begin to play in the playground where the gods come together inside of your imagination. I am in you. Thank you. That's it. You begin to play in the imagination of the gods, or you begin to play in the playground of the gods. The playground of the gods is the imagination. You go within or you do without. Break it down another way. Say it another way, LDA. Before I bought the camera, I've already seen myself taking a picture and doing videos with the camera in my imagination. Then I said, I had a thought. Who do I know is good at cameras? Call Governor. What was I doing? Because I've already played with it in my imagination. That means I already had the camera. I just didn't know what camera to get. Once I made a decision I was going to get a camera, the answer showed up in the playground of the what? Imagination. That is the secret. That is the secret of mastering the game. Some reason why affirmations become truth. Yeah. Your affirmations, which you affirm about yourself, becomes your truth. Let me say it another way. What you see out of your mouth becomes your reality, good, bad, or indifferent. You already said that. I'm just about to say that. You said you're right on the money. So the playground of the gods is in your imagination. Some of y'all have forgot to go into the playground of the gods and play in your imagination. When I was a kid, I used to play in my imagination all the time. I was going to be a mad scientist. I would used to build stuff and build things to tap into foams, and I did that when I was a kid. I made something that can tell when the weather. Why? Because I was playing in my imagination, and my parents did not stop me from playing in my imagination. And what happens is many of us have turned the dial down, turned the dial off in our imagination and stop playing in there. And that is the reason why we're seeing the results that we see. because we are enamored by what we see on the outside instead of being enamored by what we see on the inside. As Jonathan said, I am in you. That's the playground of the imagination of the gods. That's how you begin to think big, because you realize who you really are. If I was to bring this to a crescendo, it will be you can only play big when you know who you really are. That will be my closing to this dissertation on this argument or this thing right here. You can only play big when you know who you really are. When you realize that you are I am will realize who you are. Many of us are sleeping in our greatness because we're choosing to play small. Mm, 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 mm. The price of imagination is what's missing. Yeah, the practice of imagination is what's missing. Correct. Knowledge of self. Correct. See, your guys get, yeah. So when you begin to realize who you really are and whose you really are, you not only play big, you walk big, you talk big. Your whole aura, your whole vibe around you, energy around you begins to shift, because why? You realize who you are. The problem that we have, and I've listened to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad yesterday, video was sent to me. You have forgotten who you are. That's why you play small and you do not play big. Oh, why? They thank you. Say they don't teach us that. Why would I teach you this in school? Because I'd rather you be a slave to my system than be a master of your own. Let me say that again. Why would I teach this in your schools? Why would I educate you of who you are? Because my whole goal is never for you to be a master. It was always for you to be a slave. We say, well, slavery's been abolished. When Lincoln, no, slavery is still going on. The chains are no longer on your arms, they're on your mind. They're on your mentality, they're on your culture. So why? If I was, if I was smart, I wouldn't teach this to everyone, because everyone couldn't handle this, because I don't want you to realize who you are. Because if you realize wake up to who you are, then you cannot be controlled. I'm saying too much. This may be too much for some people. Oh, LDA, what are you talking about? That's why you can't be moved. That's why you can't be moved by what's going on in social media and with the president and with the executive orders. If you know who you are, for real, you're not moved by that. So how can the class begin to practice manipulating their imagination to gain what they need? Great question. How do you manipulate how do you go into your imagination? Let me give you the key right now. Joe Blas. How do you do that? Listen to what I'm saying, because I shouldn't be saying this, but I'm going to say it here. You go into your imagination and you go to the end. Let me give the example I gave years ago, but I'm gonna give it again. If you want a bike, or I give the example I've been using today. I wanted a camera. I did not go to the place in my imagination of seeing me getting a camera. I went to the end and beyond with me taking pictures with my camera. So you go to the end and beyond. So with the camera, I knew I wanted a camera. I talked to my girlfriend about it. We were, just passing some ideas between each other. I said, I thought. So I went into my imagination, and in this blue chair behind me, you can see that. And I thought, camera. Yeah, let me look up. But I didn't go to the point of getting the camera. I went to the end of me using the camera to take pictures and to do video, to have a more polished look with my reels, with my social media, with her reels, her social media. Why? I went to the beyond the end. So you use your imagination not to just obtain, but beyond that, to the end. When you possess it at the end, you let it go. I was convinced that I already had the camera. Then I let it go. Many times we don't get what we imagine, or we're taking our imagination because we are too attached to how it's going to happen, and we are too attached of when it's going to happen. And then let's look at this word. The last. So how can the class begin to practice manipulating their imagination to get what they need? When you get to the point in your imagination that you don't need it. Let me say that again. When you get to the point in your imagination and you feel it and you do not need it, like, oh, I'll get it. Yeah, okay. You're indifferent. All right, cool. When you get to that point, you have welcome into mastery. Welcome to playing big. Welcome to playing your identity of who you are. In the beginning, God created. In the beginning, everyone in this room creates. That's why I'm here to serve you guys. I heard everyone's answer, what challenges they have for 2025. I am going to do a master class. I'm going to talk about it, but I want to make sure I invite you because I want to serve you at the best way I can with some good game, with some strategic stuff right now. I definitely. You hitting all cylinders for most of the questions I had. Yeah, that's good. Huh? Imagine when I teach, and different is oh my God. Let me tell you. Can I keep it 100 here? I'm asking, can I keep it Cleveland bus driver? Can I keep it 100 here? Let me know. Until he said I'm not gonna say it, and I'm gonna get off this thing. Until he said keep it 100, I'm not gonna say what I'm gonna say. Because I'm gonna say something. Yeah. Because if you have it, you're becoming different. Yeah. Cleveland uppercut, I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting. As soon as he say, hit it, say it. So you don't, okay. So let me say this. When you become indifferent to it, it pulled towards you. The reason why certain things are not showing up in your life is because you are too attached to it and you have not let it go. When I let go of saying I wanted a camera and say, oh, it'll happen, the doors begin to open up for me to what? Have it. Many times the things that we want in our life, we are too attached to how it's going to happen and when it's going to happen, and we have to become indifferent, or we have to become unattached to it. When you become unattached from it, and I'm going to say this one part, it's going to really good. I'm excited about it. When you become unattached to it, it just somehow shows up in your space. And two, abundance and scarcity mindset. When you wake up to this, if you already played it out in your imagination and you have it there, why are you still seeking for it? You don't care because there's no need for me to go in my imagination. Let me make it clear for my people that are listening. To go in my imagination, I want some water. I see water. I can see myself drinking it. If in my imagination I've already seen him, that I've already drank the water and I'm satisfied, guess what? I let it go. The moment I let it go, it shows up in my life. Say it in the Bible for somebody who said, well, that's not in the Bible. Cast your cares on the Lord, for he cares for you. The moment you cast your care of, I need to get this, I need to get that, I gotta get, and let it go, and you become indifferent. Okay, guess what? You don't care if you have it or don't have it. It has to show up in your life because you already have it where? In one place within. Keep it a buck. I was not looking for a girlfriend. And y'all know me. I am what from I've been the player from the Himalayas. I know good game. The moment I stopped looking for it, it showed up. She showed up. I'm not gonna lie. There's a woman in my spirit still clinging to my spirit. It is because I have a soft spot for her that my own love for other women can flourish. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna talk. I talk about that. The moment I let go, she showed up. So let me deal with this. There's a woman in my spirit still clinging to my. So the only way a woman in this context can still cling in your spirit is because you have not let go. The moment you let go of her, she can let go of you, and you open the door for someone else to love you. Now, let me go a little bit deeper. I don't know why I'm saying this, but I'm going to go a little deeper. Until you love yourself enough to let her go. You got such a soft spot for her until you begin to love her and love yourself enough. I need to let her go. Guess what happens? You open the door for the right person to be in your life. You what? Open the door for the right person. The only person that's clinging is you. The moment you make a decision, a decisive decision, I'm going to let her go. What is it to hold? A bird was never designed to be in a cage. It was always designed to fly and to go from tree to tree. The moment you let her go, she can let you go. You open the door for the right person to be in your life. The only reason why you still have a soft spot is because, man, this would be a counsel coaching call. My coaching call start at $2,000. This would be a coaching call, but I'm gonna say it right now. This right here would be a coaching call. You let her go, you go within and you say, I free you. I let her go. I go within and I let her go. The moment you let her go, you free yourself and you free her. How can you love? You can't love something that you hold it on tight to. Love, that is not love. That is not a soft spot. That is controlling. That is manipulation. That is against the will of the Most High. Love is supposed to be given freely. You let her go. You say you love her, you got this soft spot for her, you let her go. Don't tell me you love her. What you want is to control the situation that you're in because truly you want her back. That's the real deal. If I was to call a spade, you want her back. And I don't know if she wants you back or not. That's none of my business. But if you really love her, you let her go. You what? Let her go. Let me read what Jonathan said. If you played out results, the future in your head, why was be overtly concerned about it? Correct. Yeah. Let me see. She's been in my visions talking to me, LDA. I know it sounds weird. I moved everything, but she's keeps jumping in my dreams. Okay, we gonna get it. We can get her out. I don't want to uppercut this new one, but I know my first and I guess my past. Yeah, you got to let her go. True love is what? True love. True. If you love something, you can let it go. Right. That's how guys get messed up in the game. That's how they turn into simps. I can't let it go. I can't. No. True love, let it go. Okay. When you talk to a real PI, okay, you want to go, babe? Cool. Church. On to them. They know how to let go. If you love someone, you have no power letting go. The only reason why you don't want to let it go because you feel like you're letting a part of yourself go. And the other part of it is, I don't know if you want to hear this. Women are more attracted to an indifferent man. Right. That's right. Women are more attracted to an indifferent man. And the other part of it is, make sure I can bring it back. The other part of it is this. I don't know if I'm ready to say it. You ready for what I'm about to say? This gonna get you right here. What I'm about to say. Like I said, my 1 hour consultation is $2,000. But let me say this. I don't know who's calling on my other phone from Beechwood. But let me say this. The other reason why you attach your identity to this woman. The other reason why too, you may not want to hear this, but I'm gonna say it. Like I said, normally my consultations is $200. 30 minutes is $1,000. But I'm gonna say this for you. You have turned her into an idol. You have turned her into an idol in your heart. You're now bowing down at not at her physically, but mentally. You have bowed down to the image of who she is, of what she is. You have taken that image of her and put it on your walls, and you like, mama say, mamakusa, mama say, mamakusa, mama say, mamakusa, mama say, mamakusa, mama say. To take her out of your spirit, you gotta let her go. She cannot be there until you have to say, let me give you some more. You cut off all ties to her. You may have not bother her, she don't bother you. I understand that part. But the other side of this is you got to determine that I have cut off ties to her. She can't bother you in your spirit when you connected to the Most High. You got to let her go. Cut in some places they call it a soul tie. So you need to cut that soul tie with her off. What happened to me before? People showing up in my dreams. I understand what you're talking about. I am not immune to I understand exactly what you're talking about. Showing up in the dreams, talking and doing it, trying to get my attention. Cut off soul ties. Cut it off. Cut off the soul. Take the knife, go within, not take a literal knife, and cut the soul tie between her and you. I'm giving you the language. I do pray out the soul tie. How does that work? So that means what I'm saying, what you do. So what you do is you say, you know what, whoever it is, Susie Q, you know, I love you. You was my boo. We had something going on. I know I'm not going to bother you. You're not going to bother me, but I need you. This is your prayer. I go within and I have to let you go. I cut off the soul tie between you and I. They see people giving you the game in here. Yeah. I break that between her and I. So for this to show up in this chat room for this conversation, that means two things I have to do. You're going to go in, but I'm going to go in and break it also. So you have to go in, have the strength and the fortitude to let it go. Yeah. You can't be going looking at her pictures. You can't be, oh, I wonder what she's doing. Cut it. You got to go cold turkey. You go within, cut it off. The moment you do that, you will be free. You'll be like, was the old Denise Williams, I just want to be free. You'll be free. I just want to be free. Go within, and I have to let her go. Yeah, go within, and you have to physically say that with I let her. And it's not, you can't just say it one time. You're gonna have to say it a couple times. When it comes up, you know what? I let you go. There's nothing between us anymore. I let it go. It's okay. I'm free to move on. You're free to move on. You no longer belong in my dreams, because there are some women who do practice witchcraft and manipulation and try to use that to control men, as well as men do the same thing too. Trust me, I know all about it. Show up in somebody's dreams and walk around and I was thinking about you. Yeah, I know you were, because I put my intentions out there so that you could be thinking of. Mm-hmm, 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 mm-hmm. Any reminder is going to bring you back to zero. So be avert and let her go. Then it's easy to do the things that free yourself. Thank you. See, good game is here. And we're not saying she's a bad woman or things like that, but you have to go within. Let her go. See yourself letting her go. Playground of the God. Do you think the playgrounds of the gods, they are tied up like that? Let her go. This is Lawrence D. If you got something from today, put a number 2 in the chat room. Put a number 2 in the chat room. Man, feels like I was cutting when I was a young lad. It's a second nature to cut off. As an adult, I have to consider all the feelings of mine up. You can't consider you can't consider it no more. Cut it. Cut it. Put your big boy pants on and cut it. Put your big boy pants on and cut it. You, as my old, where he rest in peace, Dave Clark, you'll feel more better. Yeah, man, I want some pound cake. Yeah, you got to put your big boy's pants on. I'm like, yo, playboy, I gotta let it go. You'll feel more better. Right there, considering other people's feelings. Let me say this. I am not advocating for nobody being rude, disrespectful, or to say things to people to hurt them. But I'm going to tell you, if you're going to go to the next level in the game, sometimes you can, and I've been guilty of, because I didn't want to post certain things with me and my girl together. I don't know what people was going to think, what my ex is going to say. I was concerned about other people's feelings instead of concerned about my feelings and her feelings. But hey, you can't worry about what other people's feelings. People going to like you or hate you, no matter what you do. Cut it. Snip, snip. Get the scissors out. Get the machete. One God. You got to cut it. That's part of the game. Like I said, this conversation would definitely be, if we were doing this a one-on-one, and I don't do one-on-ones anymore. That's why it's up to $2,000 to talk. $1,000 for a half an hour. Why is it like, why are you doing that, LDA? Because when you pay attention. And I'm here to serve you. Right. What would Stumper do? What would Stumper do? That right there, right? What would Stumper do? Yeah, like I said, if you want the patty cake baker's man game, this ain't it. This is for those men who got vision. This part of the mastering the game, this is part of and this is why I'm here to serve you. Cold game, and I'm here for it. This is real spiritual cleaning. Yeah, thank you. That's what it is. I'm here to tell you, I am so here to serve my brother and my sister to come through. I'm here to serve you guys. We can look, oh, you get more numbers, you can do this. No, I'm here to serve you. I'm not perfect. I have it all together, but I'm here to serve you. My gift that I've been blessed with is to give the wisdom, skills, experience, life lessons, failures, and to actually give them away as a gift to you. I'm here to serve. You say, well, how can you say that? You talk about you charging $2,000. Because I can serve you so well at that level. Sounds like you're back to aligning with yourself. And yep, I am so right there. I'm here to serve you. Think about it. I'm here to serve. I want you to get this. I'm here to serve the Most High in you. Let me say that again, because some brothers didn't get that. They keep jumping on and off. I don't know what LDA is saying. I'm here to serve the Most High in you. Cutting old soul ties were easy when you never were vulnerable in the first place. We're all learning new skills today. Correct. Ooh, wow, I love that. Sometimes a step back is necessary, right? So I'm here to serve the Most High that's in you. I'm here to bring my reasonable gift, my gift to you, so that you become the best version of who you are. That's why I'm going to do the mastermind call. That's why we're going to have the challenges coming up. Yes, it will be $97 to be just in the seats. Yes, it will be $297 to ask questions, and you get a little bit more access to other things. Yes, a one-on-one is $2,000. I don't get $2,000. Okay, I'm not for you. Imagine if people who have did a one-on-one coaching with me free or paid something, imagine the level that you would get at that price. Why are you talking about money, LDA? The game is just cold like that. It is what it is. Well, you about the money, LDA, you a grifter. I don't care what you think about me. I know I can serve the best when I know you're paying attention to what I'm giving you. If I was to give Cleveland bus driver upper cup, if he paid, just hypothetically, if he paid $3,000 or $50,000, what I said, he gonna pay attention and he gonna do it because he gave his money on what was talked about for that coaching. Not saying that he won't do it now, but it's gonna sting a little bit different. That's just real talk. I'm just keeping it 100. With that being said, appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for showing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Extra change. Yep, I pay what I value. Yep. Extra change for the message today. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I don't take it lightly anytime somebody gives. But I also I'm right, $3,000 a gang hit harder than a free 99. You right. Come on. Right. You be like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're gonna pay attention completely different. And me telling you this and sharing this in this space, trust me, me sharing this is giving you another level of game. It's giving you another level of game. What you pay, many times we don't get to the next level because we are so cheap, we don't pay for what we really want or what we should have. It's a dip. And I remember, I'm gonna say this last story. I got the story. I remember when I was at the time I was married. Some family members wanted to get some furniture, but they wanted to get me some secondhand furniture because we didn't have furniture. And me and my wife at the time, we were just happy to have our own townhouse. We had our yard we were responsible for, we had our garage. She parked her car and I had my own little area down in the basement. But some family members wanted to get me some secondhand furniture. Ain't nothing wrong with secondhand furniture, but it was used. Used. It was, they used it. So I brought it in, had this big old couch. I got in, and that couch did not last long because even though it looked good and I could put a slip cover on it, it was better to wait and not get something cheap and get something that me and her paid for, that we would value at a different level because it was new and it was something that we can really take value in. Not that I didn't value the free used furniture, but how I was set up and how we were set up at the time, that didn't represent who we were. And I settled for used instead of getting new. I didn't want to pay the price. Taking the time, maybe pay 100 here, 100 there, because she was working at the same time too, and put together and get what we really wanted. But we settled for something that was used. Many times in the game and many times in life, we settle for used things instead of going out and getting what's best for us and paying the price because it lasts longer, because you got something that has value. That old furniture, that old couch didn't have it. The value was already used up. It was enough butts to set on it already. And I wanted my butt to sit on there, be new. Same thing with life. Are you settling for a used furniture, or are you going to go out and get you some real furniture? Are you willing to pay the price for that? Thank you so much for the super chats, cash apps. Thank you for everybody coming through. With that being said, this is Lawrence D. Adams. Good game today. And I'm out. Peace.